as having a purpose, I would ask you, before you do anything else with your life, even for some of the younger ones here, try to find out what your purpose is. Your purpose cannot be about earning, it wasn't 10 million, it was 9 million. Your purpose in life cannot be about earning 9 million shillings a month or whatever it was. You have to find a higher purpose. And when you find that purpose, then you have to pursue it like nothing else is more important in life. You are all leaders. I can see, even from the scouts, they were intimidating me earlier because I looked at each one of them in the eyes and I can see leaders of tomorrow. But leadership, what does leadership mean? So often people say to me, tell us about some of the benefits of leadership. I'll ignore the parents. You already know this stuff. Let me address it over here. What are the benefits of leadership? And actually, there are no benefits of leadership. I spent the last week speaking with some of the greatest business leaders in the world. I was with Paul Polman, who is the chief executive of Unilever. I was with people from Los Angeles, from London, from Europe. And the common consensus with these great leaders, and these are all people who I have a lot of respect for, a great deal of respect. The conclusion was that the only benefit that comes with leadership, especially for an organization like mine, or indeed for an organization like yours, the only benefit the headmaster of this school has is the ability to change things. The ability that I have running the company that I have to make a transformative impact on the country that we serve. And so when you think and you've tried to find your purpose, don't think about the Range Rover. Don't think about the big house. With it comes responsibility. Now, how do you support that purpose? There are 3 legs to supporting that purpose. The first leg, I think the chairman and the headmaster spoke about, and that is IQ. I don't have to tell you much about IQ. You're smart kids. I've never seen so many A's in my life, I have to confess. But even I didn't get any A's. Which is not a very good example. But you know how to get A's. But as the chairman said just now, gentleman over there in the smart suit, and one had a very fancy haircut. You have to go, where's the one with the fancy haircut? Let's see if he's brave enough to stand up. You have to go beyond the A's. This is the beginning of your life. You have to continue to learn. And when I left school actually very early. For me, it was the beginning of a learning. And you have to use every opportunity in whichever country I've worked in. Everybody's looking for the guy with a funny haircut now. Sorry, I didn't mean a funny haircut, I meant a nice haircut. When I left school, I used every opportunity in whichever country I lived in, whichever culture I interacted with. It was always a learning experience. And what you have done in the years that you have been here, and what the younger men, what you will learn in the years that you will spend here, is how to learn. Don't assume that what you have learned is it. For me, life continues to be a learning experience. So continue to drive the IQ. The second Q is the EQ. And the EQ is in some ways more important, because my IQ is much lower. It's probably much lower than most of you, and I'm not just saying that. But my EQ is higher than yours. And I was speaking to some students at the University of Nairobi recently, and they asked me what I thought of the youth. And I said, well, now you've asked me the question. I'm assuming you want me to give you the answer. And I'm assuming you don't want me to lie. Otherwise, we're both wasting our time. And I said, I wouldn't hire any of you. Because, a surprised look on his face. Because I can't put you in front of any of my clients. I can't put you in front of any of my customers. Because you have a very low EQ. All you've learned is how to remember things. And you have to go beyond remembering. You have to go into interacting and to having that emotional quotient. The headmaster said, be careful who you keep company with. I'm very careful who I keep company with. Now, unfortunately, some of the people I keep company with lead me into trouble. So I learned my best friend, in fact, the one who acted as my best man for my famous wedding, which was not intended to be famous at all. But my best man was Joshua Igara. And so, imagine, Joshua Igara is the smartest CEO in this country. Even smarter than me, hard to believe, but he's also younger than me. And so, I keep company with Joshua. And so when Joshua does foolish things, like he did last year when he came here, I'm told he committed 1 million shillings. Now, last year, you remember that I declared my income and my assets, and the next day Joshua did the same. So we tend to lead each other a little bit astray, but fortunately we lead each other astray in doing the right things. And so because Joshua offered 1 million last year, I would also offer 1 million this year. So, but at a very serious level, the company you keep are the people who will define you. If you hang out with people who have a higher purpose, not necessarily CEOs, you hang out with people who have a higher purpose, you will develop a higher purpose. If you hang out with thieves, you will become a thief. So EQ is the second stool. And the third leg of that stool is what I call the PQ, and that is your personal quotient. Your personal quotient means that if you abuse yourself, if you abuse your body, if you abuse your mind, it's only ever going to lead to one thing. You have to make sure that more than anyone else, you value yourself. You stay away from drugs. You stay away from alcohol. Now, it's easy for me to say stay away from alcohol because I know that these Form 4s, as soon as the chairman's back is turned, you will start to look to the alcohol. Yes, it will come. But let me urge you, everything in moderation. Make sure, the reason why you have these great playing fields here is not for the open space. It's to make sure that you start to instill into yourself from a very early age a respect for your physical body and for your mental state. Don't let that go. I can tell you, I wake up every morning at 5:15 in the morning. The reason why I have a stiff back is because I haven't been going to the gym for the week. I've been traveling. Every morning at 5:15, and I'm in the gym, maybe 5 days a week. My consumption of alcohol is almost negligible. I make sure that I sleep, and sleep is so important. I make sure I get between 6.5 and 7 hours sleep every night. That is how I can do the job which I have to do. My job is a 24-hour-a-day job. There's no downtime. I also have some other people who support me through this, and I have Mr. Malila behind me. He was a parent here. And Malila will also tell you that his job is a 24-hour job, and the only way he can do that is by making sure that he takes care of himself. So gentlemen, and the few ladies we have, not enough ladies yet, but I leave you just with the thought. Think about the three-legged stool. A three-legged stool will never wobble, but it doesn't work if it only has two legs. You start with your purpose in life. My purpose? My purpose is which has the same purpose. Find your purpose. I didn't find my purpose until very late in life. My purpose until then was just to earn more money and to move up the ladder. Be careful when you move up the ladder, because if the ladder is on the wrong wall, when you get to the top of the ladder, it serves you no good. You start with your purpose. You continue on that journey of learning, and you take those A's, and it's a very impressive list of A's. You take those A's as your starting point, and you continue to learn until your dying day. You manage your emotional quotient. You learn how to deal with the people around you. You learn how to respect society. You learn how to provide for the future generations. And you keep the right company. And the final one is you learn how to respect yourself. You treat yourself with dignity and respect. And gentlemen, you are not going to just lead Kenya. You're just not going to change Kenya. You will move out from here. You will change this continent that we call Africa, and you will change the world. As I look into your bright